A woman came in and had this ring. Now this is hollow and it is in 14 karat white gold, and she had the two diamonds that were from a previous pendant and she had set into this ring. She wants to switch it up. Something like this is what she's after. So I said, sure, we can do that. So let's get started. First, we're going to make sure no fire scale gets on this. So we light it up with the alcohol, and we're going to get our torch ready, and we're going to remove those two diamonds first. So I'm going to leave them in their settings and just heat up the ring from underneath, and it should get the solder to flow, and then I can just pull those right out as the solder flows. I keep adjusting my hand because it gets hot. I don't want to burn myself, obviously, but you have to get it in just the right position to do this. So I'm carefully heating it up, and there they go. So those diamonds came out, and now I can get moving on with the process. We'll set those aside, and we'll put the ring actually in my crucible, and let's melt this thing down. So we're going to use this for the shank of the ring. And that's the cool thing about jewelry. If it's a precious metal, you can melt it multiple times and keep using the same metal over and over again. And it never really goes away. It's not like wood where it turns to dust. It just melts into a new form. So once I have my ingot poured, I run it through my rolling mill. And this gets me the desired dimensions I need. So I kind of had an idea of how thick I wanted it, and I knew the finger size was an 8.5. So with those two measurements, I went ahead and just started rolling it. Do multiple passes, and I'll squeeze it down a little more and do another pass, and again and again and again until the desired dimension is there. But as you do this, it gets work hardened. And when material gets work hardened, it can actually become very brittle. So you can do this to a certain point, and then you have to anneal the gold again, which returns its softness to it. And then it's more ductile and malleable again, and you can keep working it. So we're just about ready for that. That's probably it right there. Now let's go ahead and anneal it. And to do that, we heat this up to a dull red, and then you can either let it air cool, or you can quench it in water when it's a dull red color. And usually you want to hold it there for about a minute. So, it just allows all the molecules to relax. And with precious metals, you can quench them. A lot of people on my videos have said you can't do that, but it's true. You can do it with non-ferrous, so non-iron metals. So here's our piece. We're going to go ahead and clean it up with our sanding stick, just to get, there was some fire scale on here anyway, so I just wanted to clean that up. And then we're going to form it into a ring. Now this is going to be an 8.5. But the first step is I need to get it into ring form to make sure it's perfectly round. And that's what we're doing here with our ring bending machine. This thing comes in really handy. And there we go. And then I did use some solder, and I soldered it together, and I rounded it out. I didn't have my camera on at the time. And now I'm expanding it to a size 8.5, which we have right here. Exactly an 8.5 is where we wanted it. But we need to layer diamonds on here. We need to establish how much gap we need, and I'm marking with a pencil where I need to cut my shank, because those diamonds are going to be soldered right onto the ends of that ring. It's not going to be a complete ring, it's going to be open in the middle. So let's get this party started and saw these ends off. Okay, there. Now I went ahead and finished up the ring so we can solder the diamonds on. Now guys, this was not an easy task. I lined up ring on one and the diamond on the other. And those tweezers took me forever to get them lined up just right. So I did not film the soldering because I had to get my head right down in there. But here is the result. I soldered those diamonds on, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm really liking it. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it up a little more. We're going to use a rubber wheel on the inside. There were some sharp edges. And so I'm just going on and cleaning up all the sharp edges, all the tool marks, and that rubber wheel does a quick work of that. So here we go. After it's polished out of the cleaner, it looks just like the photo. Actually, really close. My setting was 4 prongs. In the photo was 3 prongs. And that's what happens when you're using customer materials and customizing something from an internet photo. But overall, this project turned out great, and my customers are going to love it and be able to wear it for years to come.